Such a history is suggestive. Why was such an empire permitted to rise over the bleeding surface of the world? And what was its influence on the general destiny of the race? How far has its civilization perished, and how far has it entered into new combinations? Was its strength material or moral or intellectual? How far did literature, art, science, laws, philosophy prove conservative forces? Why did Christianity fail to arrest so total an eclipse of the glory of man? Why did a magnificent civilization prove so feeble, a barrier against corruption and decay? Why was the world to be involved in such universal gloom and wretchedness as followed the great catastrophe? Could nothing arrest the stupendous downfall? And when we pass from the great facts of Roman history to the questions which it suggests to a contemplative mind in reference to the state of society among ourselves, on which history ought to shed light, what enigmas remain to be solved? Does moral worth necessarily keep pace with aesthetic culture, or intellectual triumphs, or material strength? Do the boasted triumphs of civilization create those holy certitudes on which happiness is based? Can vitality in states be preserved by mechanical inventions? Does society expand from inherent laws of development, or from influences altogether foreign to man? Is it the settled destiny of nations to rise to a certain height in wisdom and power, and then pass away in ignominy and gloom? Is there permanence in any human institutions? Will society move round in perpetual circles, incapable of progression and incapable of rest, or will it indefinitely improve? May there not be the highest triumphs of art, literature, and science, where the mainsprings of society are sensuality and egotism? Is the tendency of society to democratic or aristocratic or despotic governments? Does Christianity in this dispensation merely furnish witnesses of truth, or will it achieve successive conquests over human degeneracy till the race is emaciated and saved? Can it arrest the downward tendency of society when it is undermined by vices which blunt the conscience of mankind, and which are sustained by all that is proud in rank, brilliant in fashion, and powerful in wealth? These are inquiries on which Roman history sheds light. If history is a guide or oracle, they are full of impressive significance. Can we afford to reject all the examples of the past in our sanguine hopes for the future? Human nature is the same in any age, and human experiences point to some great elemental truths, which the Bible confirms. We may be unmoved by them, but they remain in solemn dignity for all generations, and foremost of them, as Charles Kingsley has so well said, stands a law which man has been trying in all ages as now to deny, or at least to ignore, and that is, that as the fruit of righteousness is wealth and peace, strength and honor, the fruit of unrighteousness is poverty and anarchy, weakness and shame. For upon mind, but upon morals, for not upon mind, but upon morals, is human welfare founded. Science is indeed great, but she is not the greatest. She is an instrument and not a power, but her lawful mistress, the only one under whom she can truly grow and prosper and prove her divine descent, is virtue, the likeness of Almighty God, an ancient doctrine, yet one ever young, and which no discoveries in science will ever abrogate. Hence, the great aim of history should be a dispassionate inquiry into the genius of past civilizations, especially in a moral point of view. Wherein were they weak or strong, vital or mechanical, permanent or transient, we wish to know, that we may compare them with our own and learn lessons of wisdom. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire is especially rich in facts which bear on our own development. Nor can modern history be comprehended without a survey of the civilization which has entered into our own and forms the basis of many of our own institutions. Rome perished, but not wholly. Her civilization, so far as it was founded on the immutable principles of justice or beauty or love, it will never die, but will remain a precious legacy to all generations. So far as it was founded on pride, injustice, and selfishness, it ignobly disappeared. Men die, and their trophies of pride are buried in the dust, but their truths live. All truth is indestructible and survives both names and marbles. Roman history, so grand and so mournful, on the whole suggests cheering views for humanity. Since out of the ruins, amid the storms aloft, the conflagration, there came certain indestructible forces, which, when united with Christianity, developed a new and more glorious condition for humanity. Creation succeeded destruction. All that was valuable in art, in science, in literature, in philosophy, and laws has been preserved. The useless alone has perished with the worn-out races themselves. The light which scholars and artists and poets and philosophers and lawgivers kindled illuminated the path of the future guides of mankind, and especially the great ideas which the persecuted Christians unfolded, projected themselves into the shadows of medieval Europe and gave a new direction to human thought and life. New sentiments arose, more poetic and majestic than ever existed in the ancient world, giving radiance to homes, peace to families, elevation to woman, liberty to the slave, compassion for the miserable, self-respect to the man of toil, exaltation to the martyr, patience to the poor, and glorious hopes to all, so that in rudeness, in poverty, in discomfort, in slavery, in isolation, in obloquy, peace and happiness were born, and a new race with noble elements of character arose in the majesty of renovated strength to achieve still grander victories and confer high blessings on mankind. Thus the Roman Empire, whose fall was so inglorious and whose chastisement was so severe, was made by Providence to favor the ultimate progress of society, since its civilization entered into new combinations and still remains one of the proudest monuments of human genius. It is this civilization, in its varied aspects, both good and evil, lofty and degraded, which in the following chapters I seek to show. This is the real point of interest in Roman history. Let us see what the Romans really accomplished, the results of their great enterprises, the systems they matured with so much thought, the institutions they bequeathed to our times, even those vices and follies which they originally despised, and which, if allowed to become dominant, must, according to all those laws of which we have cognizance, ultimately overwhelm any land in misery, shame, and ruin. In presenting this civilization, I aim to generalize the most important facts, leaving the reader to examine at his leisure recondite authorities, in which too often the argument is obscured by minute details, and art is buried in learning.